No, that's not true at all. Processing, the metal boss says. It appears that the oversteer protocol has not been able to properly assist you. Unfortunately, this protocol is still experimental, therefore may not give you an exact guidance you require. If I had said yes, would it have helped us? Therefore may not always give you the exact guidance you require. Since this unit does not seem to be able to provide the information you requested, you are advised to contact one of the city guards instead, who will gladly help you with anything you might need. We apologize for the inconvenience. Have a good day. Well, damn, Hardwick says. The metal ball is flying away from us. I was almost sure that this blasted contraption would sound the alarm after everything it just said. You think there's any risk that the golem head will tell anyone else about the whole analysis? I don't know, but I don't like the way everyone is looking at us. Dylan says he nods his head towards a few citizens who are watching us from a distance with slightly anxious expression on their faces. I'm not sure how much these people heard of what the golem head just said, but we'd better be moving along before we become even more suspicious looking than we already are. So, how do you reckon that metal boss figured out all the stuff about us? Hardwick says, as Darren in a low voice as we move away from the people who are staring at us. It's possible that they have been monitoring us since before we entered the city, Darren says. Melinda did say that these drones were originally built for surveillance purposes. I will admit that I haven't really been paying attention to the sky above us. I mean, you would hear the rotor blades, wouldn't you? Maybe they're magical or something. I will admit that I haven't really been paying attention to the sky above us since we came here. But if they knew what we were doing from even before we got past the gates, why would they let us come this far? Hardwick says. Who knows? Dylan says. Could be some kind of trap, or perhaps their surveillance system is defected. The metal ball haven't reported us to anyone in charge yet. It's anyone's guess, really. There's not exactly much we can do about it other than keeping our guard up and hoping for the best. This is an unknown territory for us, so we should assume that there are enemies around every corner unless proven otherwise. Melinda, how long do we have until we reach the plaza you mentioned? Not long, Melinda says. We should probably be there in a few minutes. Just like Melinda said, it didn't take too much time for us to get to the Perillian Plaza. As soon as we reached our destination, we realized that there were quite a lot of people gathered up there, standing in place as if they were waiting for something. Do you guys think there is some sort of spectacle scheduled around this time? I tell my friends as we make our way through the crowd. Could be, Darren says. They may also be waiting for us, waiting for some high-ranking official to give a speech at this hour. Whatever it is, it shouldn't really concern us. Let's keep moving. All of a sudden, a very large magical holographic screen appears in front of the crowd, floating a few dozen feet above the ground, so everyone can see it properly. On the screen, we see a fat man with a grey beard wearing a crown and royal garments, who I'm assuming is the King of Hollander, a man wearing blue robes holding a spectre who is likely the city's high priest serving the god of seas, and a 18-year-old boy wearing pajamas holding his hands in his pocket and keeping his eyes closed while having a polite smile on his face. Who the hell is that? Damn it, Dylan says as he takes a look at the screen. Not him again. Who? 18-year-old boy wearing pajamas. You can't tell me that's Aiden, is it? Wait, Aiden is in the city? Why is he? I didn't know he was 18 years old. I mean, at his body at least. I thought he would at least be older than that. And I didn't know that Aiden was wearing pajamas. Okay. Damn it, Darren says. He looks at the screen. Not him again, as if he's heard him commenting, and he looks straight at Darren through the screen. Man, his fucking abilities are next level. With his eyes still closed, and he smirks at him. Did you see that? Darren says in a low voice so the other people in the plaza won't hear him. He was looking right at me when he smirked. How did he hear what I said? Do you think they are somewhere nearby? Be serious, Araka tells Darren. He didn't need to hear exactly which words you used to figure out. What? He didn't need to hear exactly which words you used to figure out what you were going to say. You say the same thing every time Aiden makes an appearance. All he had to do was use his magical sense to figure out where you were situated in relation to the screen, then read the fluctuation of aura to figure out when you were done talking, as he could smirk at you. So he could smirk at you. You would know these sort of things if those ex-mages teachers of yours have spent a minimum amount of time teaching you your aura training exercises instead of teaching you how to pick daisies. I swear, Melinda says, if Aiden is planning to give away our position to the king after he didn't even bother to say hello to me at the arena, I'm going to strangle him with my own hands. He's not giving away anything, Luna says. Look at the screen. They're clearly preparing for a ceremony of some kind. The king and Aiden are both. Why am I smiling? The king and Aiden are both staying silent while the man in robes is chanting obscure mantras. And technically the word is mantra. How do I even explain what mantra are? I mean, it's been converted to mantras or whatever. but the actual word is mantra. It's a Sanskrit word, I think. Is it a Hindi word? Is it a Sanskrit word? I'm not sure. I think it's a Sanskrit word. I don't think I can explain what mantra are. They are a sort of incantation, but they're not for necessarily for a ritual. Would praying be considered a ritual? I guess so. I mean, it is a sort of ritual. It has a procedure to it. Yeah, sure. Let's just go with incantations, I suppose. Where were we? Both silent while the man in robes were chanting some obscure mantras and smacking the ground repeatedly with his scepter. He's saying, "You shall not pass." I recommend that we ignore them, and keep following Melinda towards our destination. The ceremony of theirs is probably going to take a long time. Yes, well, you see, Melinda says, the thing is that it's been a while since I last visited the plaza. I don't really remember which way we're supposed to go from here. They've changed so many things about the architecture that nothing looks the same anymore. It's all very confused. Just give me a minute. I'm sure I'll figure it out. At least we got quality entertainment to look at while we wait, Hardwick says in a sarcastic voice. What do you all suppose this ceremony is about anyway? I suspect we will soon find out. Kate says, the priest looks like he's almost done with his preparation. Are they scrying or something? Because that was the thing that got our mage boy fucked up in the first medieval fantasy. After smacking the floor 2 more times with the scepter, the man in blue robe steps back and he makes way for the king Hollander and steps to the front. My beloved people, the king says, as I've announced yesterday, our creator has finally returned. I've spoken to him yesterday and he has gracefully agreed to participate in the ceremony in order to receive the blessing of the god of seas, just like every other citizen of Hollander. Once he becomes one of us, I'm certain that he will guide us to our new heights, and together with him we will no longer need to fear any of our enemies. Actually, O great and wise king, Hayden says, my role for now will be that of an observer rather than an active participant in your politics. I have reason to believe that your kingdom will face a great challenge in the near future, and I'm very interested to see how you and your people handle the crisis. I have heard many praises about your skilled leadership, and I'm most anxious to witness your decision-making process up close. I'm confident that you will not betray my expectations. Of course, Creator, the king says. Whatever this crisis may be, I'll make sure that you won't be disappointed. High priest, you may begin the ceremony. As soon as the priest gives the signal, the priest begins chanting again, and both the priest and Aiden fall silent once more. I knew it, Darren says. The bastard knew exactly what we were planning to do, and the only reason why he came here is to get a better view of the show. He's just going to sit there sipping his tea while the rest of us murder each other for his amusement. As long as he's not planning to interfere in any way, he can drink as much tea as he wants for our like here, Melindra says. Let's just hope that he won't get bored of watching and decides to join in the fun later. I think he just wants to see how things will play out. I doubt he'll join in. Even though there is interferences from him, I don't think it will be anything too major. You think he might want to fight us? I highly doubt it. I mean, there could be interferences from him, but he shouldn't be interfering too much. Sad device locked again. Even if there is interferences from him, I don't think it will be anything too major. Yeah, that's what I'm also thinking, Monroe says. If he's going to do anything, then it will likely only be some cryptic advice given to the king and his followers, but nothing more than that. Anyway, let's forget about Aiden for now. I'm pretty sure that I figured out which way we need to go next. Come over here. We all go after Melindra, who leads us towards one of the edges of the plaza where there are considerably fewer people standing around. When we get a little closer to the margin of the plaza, Melindra suddenly signals us to stop, and she begins watching the entrance to an alleyway in front of us very attentively. As we try to understand what got her attention, we see that 3 men are currently entering the plaza, 2 of which appear to be participants in the tournament. Given that I'm not seeing any warnings to not injure them, the 3 of them are wearing similar looking blue-colored uniforms on top of their armors. While the man who is local from Varita seems to have different markings drawn on his garment, likely as a result of being higher ranked than the others. Of the 2 tournament participants, one of them is particularly bulky and tall, reminding me somewhat of Bruce from Thelius's arena, except that he has a long black beard and a bald head and the look of a seasoned war veteran in his eyes, and he does not appear to be holding any weapons. The second tournament participant is a dark-skinned, although his skin tone is a lighter shade than that of Darren and his ex-mentor.